Karma has a strange way of circling back, and for Babyface in Season 4 of All the Queen's Men, it finally caught up with him. For years, he has walked a dangerous line, making choices that seemed clever in the moment, but always came with hidden costs. Now, in this new season, all the lies, all the betrayals, and all the reckless moves he thought he could escape are back to haunt him. Fans have been waiting to see whether Babyface would pay the price, and Season 4 delivers that moment with chilling force. From the very beginning, Babyface stood out as a character who knew how to survive in a world built on power, secrets, and temptation. He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the most powerful, but he was always present in the background, quietly moving, calculating, and waiting for his chance to shine. In earlier seasons, we saw glimpses of his loyalty, his charm, and even his softer side, but underneath all of that was a man caught between ambition and fear. Babyface wanted respect, but he didn't always know how to earn it the right way. He built connections that looked strong on the surface, but were fragile at the core. His alliances were often based on convenience rather than true trust, and that meant they could crumble at any moment. Every time he thought he had gained an advantage, there was a price attached. Every deal he struck, every favor he asked for, every secret he kept, it all added up over time. That's the thing about karma. It never forgets. Even when the person does dodge season after season, Babyface managed to slip through tight situations. Fans often wondered, how long can he keep getting away with this? He avoided consequences again and again, almost like the rules didn't apply to him. But while he escaped the big punishments, the cracks in his world were already forming. His decisions started to hurt people close to him. His actions planted seeds of mistrust, betrayal, and anger. And in the world of All the Queen's Men, those seeds always grow into something dangerous. What made Babyface's story so fascinating was the duality of his character. On one hand, he could be relatable, a man struggling to carve out his place in a cutthroat environment. On the other hand, he was selfish, reckless, and blind to the damage he caused around him. This tension kept fans both rooting for him and waiting for his downfall. It's a rare kind of character that makes you feel both sympathy and frustration at the same time, but Babyface carried that role perfectly. In the first 3 seasons, Babyface learned how to play the game, but he also learned how to bend it. He crossed lines he shouldn't have crossed. He betrayed people who gave him chances. He underestimated the power of loyalty and overestimated the strength of his own charm. That's why Season 4 feels like a turning point, because everything he avoided, everything he tried to hide, is now exploding in his face. And what's most striking is that the very things he thought made him untouchable are the same things pulling him down. Season 4 reminds us of one hard truth: you can only escape karma for so long. For Babyface, the game of survival has shifted, and now he is the one being cornered. The same cleverness that once saved him is no longer enough. The same people he used to lean on are now questioning him. His past is catching up, and this time, there is no easy way out. Fans who have followed his journey from the start can see the irony. It was always leading to this moment. Babyface is finally paying for the choices that once made him look untouchable. Season 4 wastes no time showing us that Babyface's luck has finally run out. For a long time, he thought he could walk through the fire without getting burned, but now the flames are closing in on him from all sides. What makes this moment so powerful is that his downfall isn't caused by a sudden betrayal or one single mistake. It's the slow, inevitable weight of every wrong decision he made finally crashing down on him. It feels like the universe is pulling all the strings together just to remind him that no one escapes forever. The signs of his downfall are everywhere. People he once trusted are no longer standing by his side. Conversations that used to end with promises and deals now end with silence, suspicion, and distance. The same charm that once opened doors for him now feels like a mask people can see through. In this season, Babyface can't sweet-talk his way out of trouble anymore. The Very skills that made him slippery and untouchable in earlier seasons have lost their power. That is the essence of karma. It doesn't just punish. It strips you of the tools you once used to get ahead. There's also something poetic in the way his downfall unfolds. In past seasons, Babyface was often the one watching others fall apart, learning from their mistakes, and quietly planning how to avoid their fate. But in Season 4, the spotlight shifts, and now he is the one under the microscope. His secrets don't stay hidden anymore. His half-truths and his lies no longer protect him. Instead, they trap him, weaving a net around him that he can't escape. Each episode feels like another thread being pulled tighter, suffocating him, forcing him to face the mess he created. The turning point comes when the people around him, the ones who once gave him chances, finally decide they've had enough. It's not just enemies coming for him, it's friends, allies, and even those who once pitied him. That's when karma hits hardest, not when an enemy strikes, but when your own circle no longer wants to save you. Babyface has burned too many bridges, and Season 4 makes it painfully clear that he has run out of second chances. Watching him realize this is both satisfying and heartbreaking, because deep down, we know this didn't have to be his fate. Another layer of his karma is how the power he once sought now works against him. He wanted respect, control, and influence, but in chasing those things the wrong way, he created enemies in every corner. Now, when he needs support, no one believes him. Every word out of his mouth sounds like manipulation. Every promise sounds like a lie. The walls are closing in, and for the first time, Babyface looks small, cornered, and powerless. It's not just that he is losing, it's that he is losing in the exact way he once made others lose. The same tactics, the same betrayals, the same false confidence are now being used against him. What makes this turning point so unique is the slow burn of it all. The show doesn't just give us a single dramatic scene and move on, it builds tension episode after episode, showing Babyface unravel piece by piece. Every time he tries to fight back, he only digs himself deeper. Every attempt to escape only leads him closer to the trap. It's almost like karma is playing a game with him, dangling hope in front of him, only to snatch it away at the last second. The audience is left on edge, watching his fall, knowing there's no way out, but still wondering if he will find some miracle to save himself. By the middle of Season 4, it's clear that Babyface's story has reached a breaking point. The rise and fall we've been waiting for is happening right before our eyes, and it's impossible to look away. This isn't just another twist in the story, it's a lesson about how choices, no matter how small, always circle back. Babyface is living proof that karma might be slow, but it is always certain. His downfall is not just punishment, it's justice. And in the world of all the Queen's men, justice always comes at the most brutal time. When a character like Babyface finally faces his karma, the story doesn't just stop with him. The world of all the Queen's men is built on connections, alliances, and power struggles, so one man's downfall ripples through the lives of everyone around him. Season 4 shows us that Babyface's crash is not just his own tragedy, it's a chain reaction that shakes the balance of the entire cast. The first group to feel the impact are those who once trusted him. Babyface had a way of making people believe in him, even when he didn't deserve it. His charm, his quick words, his promises, they were strong enough to pull others into his orbit. But when the truth comes out, those same people feel the sting of betrayal the hardest. For them, it's not just about what he did, but about the fact that they let themselves believe in him for so long. This sense of disappointment cuts deeper than any enemy attack because it comes from a broken bond, his. Downfall also shifts the power dynamics in surprising ways. For every ally who turns their back on Babyface, there's someone else ready to step into the space he left behind. The game doesn't pause just because one player falls, it speeds up, and others rush to take advantage of the weakness. Enemies he once kept at bay now have free rein to strike. Opportunists who never dared challenge him suddenly see their chance. Babyface's absence in certain positions of influence opens the door for new rivalries, new leaders, and new betrayals too. Take root. Season 4 makes it clear that Babyface's karma doesn't just belong to him, it spreads like fire. Even people who weren't directly tied to his schemes start to feel the heat. His choices cause damage that now lands on the shoulders of those around him. Someone loses their trust in others because of him. Someone else inherits his debts or his broken promises. In some cases, innocent people pay the price for his reckless moves, and that's where the tragedy of his story deepens. It's not just that Babyface is falling, it's that he's dragging pieces of other people's lives down with him. But what's even more fascinating is how his fall forces others to reveal their true selves. Without Babyface to lean on or blame, certain characters are pushed into making bold moves they never would have tried before. Some rise to the challenge, proving they're stronger than anyone expected. Others collapse under the pressure, showing that they were never as tough as they pretended to be. In this way, Babyface's karma becomes a test for everyone who will adapt and who will crumble now that the balance has shifted. The emotional fallout is just as gripping as the power. Struggles for characters who cared about him, even in small ways. There's a painful mix of anger and grief. They feel betrayed, but they also feel the loss of someone they once saw as a friend, a partner, or even family. That conflict between love and hate gives the story its depth. It's not as simple as cheering for Babyface's punishment, because in punishing him, the universe also punishes those who stood too close to him. There's also the looming question of revenge. When someone like Babyface falls, there are always people who see it as an opportunity to settle old scores. His enemies don't just want to see him punished, they want to see him destroyed. And now that his defenses are weak, the vultures are circling. Season 4 hints at these revenge arcs, reminding us that in this world, no downfall is ever the end. It's just the beginning of a new storm. By showing how Babyface's karma ripples outward, the story proves that one character's choices can change everything. His lies, his betrayals, his reckless ambition, they don't vanish when he suffers. They live on in the pain, anger, and hunger for power that other characters carry forward. That's why his downfall feels so massive. It's not just about losing one player, it's about changing the whole board. And as Season 4 unfolds, we see that the chaos Babyface leaves behind may be even more dangerous than the chaos he created while he was still standing. With Babyface finally facing his long-awaited karma, the biggest question now lingers in the minds of fans everywhere. What's next? In the world of all the Queen's men, nothing ever stays still for long. A downfall is never just an ending, it's the beginning of something bigger, darker, and far more unpredictable. Babyface's story may look like it's at rock bottom, but history in this series tells us that no character is ever truly finished until the very last card is played. The first theory many fans whisper about is redemption. Could Babyface rise? Again, it might sound impossible given how much he's lost, but this show thrives on shocking twists. If there's one thing Babyface has proven, it's that he knows how to survive. Even stripped of his power, even cornered and betrayed, he has a resilience that shouldn't be underestimated. We've seen characters in this world claw their way back from worse, and Babyface may yet find a way to turn his punishment into a second chance. But redemption never comes free, it always demands sacrifice, and it's unclear whether he's strong enough to pay the price. Another path, though, is darker. What if Babyface doesn't rise again as the same man, but as something more dangerous? Karma may have humbled him, but it may also ignite a rage we've never seen before. Sometimes, being pushed down doesn't break a man, it transforms him. Imagine a Babyface who no longer tries to charm, no longer tries to balance loyalty and betrayal, but instead embraces pure vengeance. Season 4 could be setting him up for a rebirth, not as the survivor we once knew, but as a shadow of himself, someone who has nothing left to lose and therefore nothing left to fear. The most intriguing possibility is that his fall creates space for others, but his shadow still hangs over everything. Even if Babyface fades into the background, his actions will continue to shape the storyline. Enemies who rise in his absence may face resistance from people still loyal to him. Old debts he left unpaid could spark new conflicts. A character like Babyface doesn't just vanish, his legacy lingers like smoke after a fire, reminding everyone that the blaze could return at any moment. And then, of course, there's the ultimate question: who's next? If karma has finally struck Babyface, does that mean it's coming for others too? In this universe, no one holds power forever. Every lie, every betrayal, every sin eventually demands payment. Babyface's downfall may be the warning shot that the crown is never secure, not for him, not for anyone. Fans are already speculating which character will be the next to fall, and whether Babyface's punishment will trigger a cycle of revenge that leaves even more destruction in its path. The brilliance of All the Queen's Men lies in how it blurs the line between punishment and opportunity. Babyface is being punished, yes, but in punishment, there's a chance to evolve. Maybe his downfall is exactly what he needs to discover who he really is. Maybe this collapse is the soil from which a stronger, smarter, and more dangerous version of him will rise, or maybe it's the final curtain, a reminder that not everyone gets a comeback. That tension, the balance between finality and rebirth, is what makes this moment so gripping for the audience. What we know for certain is that nothing will be the same after this. Babyface's karma has reshaped alliances, exposed weaknesses, and set the stage for battles no one saw coming. Every character is watching closely, every enemy is calculating, every ally is second-guessing. The air is thick with uncertainty, and that is the perfect breeding ground for drama. Whether Babyface returns to power, fades into ruin, or transforms into something entirely new, his story has guaranteed one thing: the game will never be played the same way again. Season 4 leaves us asking the questions that make the show irresistible. Is karma truly finished with Babyface, or is this just the first strike? Can he find a way to turn his punishment into power? Or will others bury him once and for all? And if the crown is never safe, who is bold enough or foolish enough to reach for it next? These unanswered questions fuel the fire of speculation, and as fans, we are left on the edge of our seats, knowing that in All the Queen's Men, the only certainty is chaos.